run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
Our celebration of strong continues today in Columbus, Ohio, where some of the world's biggest and best athletes will redefine what is possible and push the limits of the human body at an event named for a man synonymous with strength. This is the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic, and inside the Greater Columbus Convention Center, the bar is about to be raised again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Rogue Iron Game desk. Alongside Dr. Bill Crawford, I'm Sam Farber. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you with us here today. Well, Bill, the first day of competition, a lot of excitement. Hafthor Bjornsson coming in as the two-time defending champ. A lot of expectations for him in 2020, but he has had his achievements matched and maybe exceeded by one of his fellow competitors.
He had such a dominant performance last year. He ran away with the events early, the most dominant I think we've seen in strongman at the Arnold Strongman Classic. He finds himself a half point behind. Mateusz needs to continue this pace to stay ahead and win.
Mateusz being Mateusz Kieliszkowski of Poland, who had an outstanding day one. Let's take you through the tail of the tape. It all started in trial by stone, where Hafthor Bjornsson set the pace, but had his mark reset by Mateusz Kieliszkowski. He took the full 10 points in event number one. In event two, it was bag over bar, and the Polish strongman really came out, gave it his best effort. Kieliszkowski here wrapping up trial by stone, but in bag over bar, he gave it his best effort, not his top event. He was able to do what he could to limit the damage, but everyone knew this was an event made for the mountain, and Hafthor Bjornsson took event two. Finally, Wheel of Pain. This is where Mateusz Kieliszkowski did something we were not expecting.
Yes, he actually had a different training method than everyone else. Everyone else took a super yoke, put it on some grass or some artificial turf and pushed it. He pushed a truck. It obviously worked because he won.
I'll say it did. He set the mark to beat. Hafthor Bjornsson gave it his best effort, could not reach that mark. In fact, he also didn't meet Martin Liczy's mark in that event, which gave him a little bit more cushion, gave Mateusz a little bit more cushion in event three. So on top of his win in two events on day one, he also has the top spot in the standings, half point ahead of the mountain, Hafthor Bjornsson. Our leader, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, is standing by with the third member of our broadcast team. Here's Kiki Dixon.
Mateusz, you had a full day of competition. How's the bicep holding up?
Now I feel great. Biceps is good. I am leading now after the first day. Today we have three next events. One event is deadlift. It's my weakness. I know I will lose a lot of points in this event, but still two best events for me. Then I will be fight to the end.
And now Hafthor is just a half a point behind you. How do you plan on keeping them back there?
I'm really happy to be in this position now, but I don't know he will escape now in deadlift. But I will try catch him in second.
We look forward to watching you try to catch him. Thanks.
Thank you.
Kiki, thank you. Mateusz, definitely a good attitude. You know, we came into this competition looking at Hafthor saying he needs to do well at what he does well at and limit the damage in everything else. Mateusz did that on day one to take the lead. Can he keep it going here on day two?
Well, the next event's the deadlift, and that's a deficiency for him, and he knows that. He needs to stay as close to the top 5 as possible. He's had some really great events so far, and he's got some momentum, but he knows the deadlift is where he could get separated from Hafthor. He's got to keep him in touch. Weird things happen on the frame carry. Hafthor could make a mistake. If he gets a mistake in that and catches up with him again and goes to the sheer dumbbell in second place, it's possible he wins.
Certainly is. Mateusz Kieliszkowski has maybe exceeded our expectations so far here in Columbus, Ohio. Let's look at what he goes through on a daily basis training to get here to the Arnold.
Mieszkam w bardzo małej wsi, miejscowość nazywa się Chlebów. Żyje tutaj około 30-40 osób. Wychowałem się tutaj, żyję tutaj od dziecka.
We will train today log lift, hustle stone, and then for finish stone on shoulder. 3 events today.
Zacząłem trenować w wieku 16 lat. W wieku 17 lat dostałem pierwsze zaproszenie na zawody amatorskie strongman, które wygrałem. Następnie startowałem w kolejnych zawodach w Polsce. I am 4 times Poland strongest man, so I hope that I will be 5th and 6th, we'll see. There is my all trophies from my career. This silver is most important from this year, my 2nd place from World Strongest Man. I won this competition in UK. This is for Europe, from Europe Strongest Man. I put here a lot of medals from another competition. I have also Brian Shaw autograph for me. Obecnie jestem najmłodszym zawodnikiem wśród grona na Arnold Classic.
We must training this outside because gym is too short, so we need longer distance and we training here.
Gdybym wygrał Arnold Classic, było to dla mnie potężne szczęście, spełnienie moich marzeń. Stanąć na pierwszym miejscu tak wielkich, potężnych zawodów, jest to niesamowite wrażenie i na pewno duma dla samego siebie, jak i rodziny i całego państwa.
He has certainly done Poland proud so far. We'll see what he can do on day 2. The Arnold is about much more than just strongman. There's a variety of sports being contested here in Columbus, Ohio, including weightlifting. And we've got 2 experts on the sport and 2 very involved men in the sport as well. JP Nicoletta, Sean Waxman. Guys, thanks for being here. USAW and the Arnold have been aligned for a long time. How long does it go back, and why is this such an important event on your calendar?
Well, I mean, the Arnold, weightlifting at the Arnold goes back 18 years, and this thing started as a local competition. A good friend of ours, Mark Canella, raised money, brought in the crew from the Olympic Training Center back then. I mean, what? He asked us to lift.
I mean, he didn't have enough people to lift, so he called us up to lift. So I came out of retirement to lift in this meet.
So it evolved from the local cottagey thing. They raised money, kept raising money. First time really in the sport that we had big cash prizes, and now several years later it's involved as one of our national events with USA Weightlifting. It is over 1,100 people are registered to compete this weekend. It's literally one of the biggest weightlifting competitions in the world that'll be run, and there are some other implications. We've run nationals here on 2 occasions.
Olympic trials.
It's been called a de facto Olympic qualifier. Why is it reach that level of importance?
Well, an added thing, if you want to call it that, we did this year was the Rogue Weightlifting Challenge, which is a bronze event that athletes who are competing in that international portion of this can use for Olympic qualification. And there's some big names involved in that, and there's some it's very important for the lifters, particularly from the U.S.
Yes.
that are involved in that.
This Sunday is the IWF Rogue World Challenge. Some big names involved in the event. Usually one will not be here. Let's talk about Kate Nye and why she's electing not to compete.
She doesn't need to be here. She elected to forego this to not disrupt her training for the Olympics, so she's home.
Still one of the strongest weightlifters in the world, and we're looking forward to seeing what she can do the rest of 2020. It is a big year. It's an Olympic year. All Olympic years are big in this sport. Maddy Rogers is someone a lot of fans of the sport are hoping to see make the Olympics, but she still has some work to do.
It's been a strange couple of years, particularly a strange year for Maddy, but go back to 2016. She left the senior nationals, which were run in conjunction with the Olympic trials back then, as the outstanding lifter of the nationals, but not an Olympian, which was, I think, at the time, a surprise. And if you fast forward right after the games, she won silvers at the 2017 World Championships. She won another medal at the 2018 World Championships. She was silver again this year, or excuse me, 2019 at the World Championships. What she didn't expect was the rise of Kate Nye in her native weight class.
Yeah, I mean, 3 years ago, nobody knew who Kate Nye was, and now she's going to the Olympics.
And she's literally the IWF Lifter of the Year. Yeah. So for Maddy, it left her in a strange predicament where she either had to move up or move down. She's elected to move up, and the challenge with that is she must compete at this event as an 87 kilo lifter.
So she has to weigh at least 76.01.
No, 81.
Oh, sorry, 81.01, right.
And it's been a challenge because she's never competed above 76 in a meet before, and she's bombed in three of her last 4 meets, I think it was.
Gotcha.
She put it together at the World Championships, silver medal there, but as a 76, and I'm sorry, 71. And the difficulty for her has been gaining that weight and performing. We don't know what she's going to do, but she's got to do 233 here.
We'll find out over the course of this
should
weekend.
be openers for her.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, we will find out for sure over the course of this weekend. Who else on the women's side has your eye?
Maddy Sasser, who is coming off of double knee surgery. She needs a 220 total, well within her capabilities. We don't know how healthy she is.
Yep.
Sarah Robles needs a total here to fulfill her Olympic qualification. This meet, so she needs to put a total up here, those are the two that I think, other than Maddy, are the ones to watch.
And ultimately, this is a de facto Olympic trials because of them. In Sarah's case, I think her prospects for Tokyo are very good. She literally just needs to get this meet in.
It's also an Olympic year, obviously, for the men. And again, Olympic years bring out a lot of excitement around sports like weightlifting. Who on the men's side of the competition are you most excited to see this weekend?
Well, I think this time around, the story of the men's team is the fact that we've got a men's team.
Yeah, right.
You know, and we will qualify a full 4 to Tokyo, and that'll be the first time since 1996 that we're sending a full team to the Olympics. Right here, CJ is one of them. CJ has been, I think, a lifter of a generation type thing, and he's definitely a medal prospect for Tokyo. It's a done deal. He's gonna make it. And then behind him, we've got Harrison, who's gonna make it. CJ's age. They're both born, I think, in 2000, right? Unfortunately, the Junior World Championships was recently canceled. CJ could have been the first lifter in history to win 5 straight Junior World Championships, but either way, he's going to the Olympics. Harrison will as well, and then Wes Kitts. And then the one that's kind of the feel-good story of the crew is Kane Wilkes, who will be lifting here. Kane needs this same way as Sarah to qualify or to have the essential needs that he needs to qualify. But Kane is sort of the feel-good story and how the slot that opened up for him is going to be there, and he's going to make the team. We're pretty sure.
Yes.
Right?
JP, Sean, thank you guys so much for the time. Enjoy the weekend here in Columbus.
Thank you very much.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, Maddy Rogers has her journey to the Olympic Games still underway. Her journey to the Arnold just as interesting.
My name is Maddy Rogers. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I'm a weightlifter. So right now, I regularly compete with Team USA, and I've been working towards making the 2020 Olympic team for the last 4 years. So the sport of Olympic weightlifting is competing in the snatch and the clean and jerk versus like powerlifting where it's squat, bench, dead. The two movements that we have to do are both very technical. In Olympic lifting, you can be really, really strong, but you can be a terrible lifter. It's all about putting the strength and the power and the speed and the technique and putting it all together. The 2020 Arnold is also a bronze level qualifier, and I need to satisfy one more in my Olympic weight class. So we're going to go to the Arnold weigh-in, compete there, and do as well as I can. I don't think I have a good reason where the drive comes from or why I do what I do. I think it's just so deeply ingrained in me to give everything that I can to whatever it is that I'm doing. And so if I wake up and I'm like, man, I don't feel like training today for the Arnold, I know that I have to get up and at least force myself to get into the gym. And those are days that I have to work extra hard. And those are the days that I really get better.
Maddy Rogers, someone we're certainly excited to see here in Columbus and hopefully in Tokyo as well. Two more people we are always excited to see, our reigning CrossFit Games champions, Matt Fraser, Tia-Clair Toomey, the fittest on earth. They're back here. Guys, thank you so much for your time. The 2020 sanctional season, qualifying season is well underway. What have been some of your personal highlights so far?
I was impressed by the stone carries and them lifting up those stones. Like the fact I actually tried lifting a stone out the back And to even just deadlift it, I couldn't even get it off the ground. And the fact that they're just pressing it overhead was unbelievable.
It is pretty amazing. That in terms of your CrossFit season, Matt, what's been most exciting for you so far in the build up towards a return to Madison?
You know, it's been great. You know, Tia and I are both back in Cookville full time now. You know, through the Open, Tia was in Australia. I was still kind of bouncing around a bit. And then we couldn't quite line up on the competitions early on in the season, but now we're both training for Rogue. You know, it was great. Tia and Shane were in London rooting for me. I was in Miami at Wadapalooza rooting for them, but now we're both home full time, training full swing, so the team's back together. So we get to train to Rogue, the Rogue Invitational, and then through the games.
And you guys mentioned Cookville, and obviously all our thoughts and prayers are with everyone out there in that community. It's been a tough week, but we're all rooting for all of you and all of them out there. Tia, talk about training with Matt and what that experience is like, being with another champion, how it helps you physically and mentally.
Yeah, there's definitely challenges, to put it nicely. No, but in all honesty, I couldn't ask for a better training partner, and the fact that the dynamic between myself, Shane, and Matt, it works so well. We couldn't have planned it any better, and honestly, we're really living our best lives.
And now the Rogue Invitational is coming up for both of you. What is exciting about this event on the sanctional calendar? Because things really have changed in the last 2 years. Not all events are created equal. What makes this one special?
I know for myself, I had such a great time at Rogue last year, and like you hear all the people putting pressure on how you place at Rogue, and for me it was a win-win situation. If I win the competition, I'm against the best in the world. All the top guys, all the top ladies are there. So for me, it was a great test of, okay, if I win, it's a good pat on the back and it's reassurance that, all right, keep doing what you're doing in the gym and training. And then if I don't win or events go poorly, great, there's still enough time to make corrections in my training and then to bring my A game at the games. So for me coming in, there's no pressure on it. I'm going to be happy with either results because there's going to be a positive side to both of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with Matt, but I also think that when you go to Rogue, you know you're going to get looked after, and their thoughts are, okay, how can we provide a challenge for the athletes, but also in a safe way, and how can we, you know, provide variety, and Rogue know exactly how to do that, and I think that that's what makes the event so exciting, and an event that there are certain events, sanctioned events throughout the season that are in their own element, you know, and Rogue's a part of that.
It's great to see you guys here. Best of luck the rest of the season, and best of luck in Madison. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Martins Litzis is one of the competitors here in Columbus who had high expectations. He was the runner-up last year. He's in third right now after one day. Let's see how he's feeling heading into day 2 of the competition. He's with our Kiki Dixon.
Martins, you're currently sitting third overall coming into day number 2. What's the plan of attack?
Well, deadlifts have been going really difficult in my training. My hamstring hurts. I'm going to get my hamstring wrapped really tight because I'm going to do well in the frame. I'm nervous about the dumbbell. Normally, deadlift is one of my best events, so I need those points. I need my body to be in a position where I could get the numbers. I need to keep my position.
Now, Martins, it seems like no matter what's going on, the wins, the losses, you always have a great disposition. How do you think a positive attitude helps you throughout a competition weekend?
Well, I mean, this stuff is so heavy and hurts, and it's miserable as it is, so might as well have a good time the rest of the time.
Amen, brother. Now, you do something that I absolutely love at the end of each event. You put your arm in the air and you give me a Martins. Can we do it together?
Yes.
Martins! Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Kiki, thank you very much for that Theragun backstage report. It'll be a full day here on day 2 of the Arnold Strongman Classic. Let's get you a look at the tail of the tape here, what events are ahead for our athletes. And it all starts off with maybe the most highly anticipated event in Strongman, the Rogue Elephant Bar Deadlift. Dr. Bill Crawford's back with me here at the desk, and this is the one, if you could just single out one event in Strongman, this is the one you would pick.
Yes, it is. This is a signature event in Strongman. This is red meat for Strongman fans because it's just heavyweight on the bar, highest weight wins, lift it.
Timber carry might be the deciding event. Sear Dumbbell Strategic Challenge, maybe a bit more of a edge to Mateusz Kieliszkowski. We'll see how things all stack up, and as well, we'll have our road record breakers throughout the day. Before we get into them, though, we want to talk about some of our leaders, some of our contenders. Again, Dr. Bill is back here with me at the desk. Let's start off with Martins Licis. Just heard him talking with Kiki. He's in third place. He has have a sizable gap, though, between him and the top two competitors. That doesn't seem to keep his confidence down, though.
No, it doesn't. He's got a lot of momentum coming off that great win in Santa Monica. Martins is very mentally tough. He matches his physical and mental preparation probably as well as anybody does. I talked to his coach last night, Ode Haugen, for some time, and he tells me that he's going to place in second at least, which means the other two leaders right now will not be in first or second at the end of that. So you always have to keep your eye on Martins. He keeps coming and gets stronger. He seems to gain strength from the struggle as opposed to getting weaker from the struggle.
I know his nickname's the Dragon. Maybe he is the White Walker of this competition, trying to take down the Mountain. Hafthor Bjornsson, the two-time defending champ, half point back right now in the standings, but still in very good position.
He's in great position. This is still his competition to lose. He's going to come into the deadlift as a favorite there. He's going to get some help from some of the other athletes that are great deadlifters. And also, Mateusz and also Martins are not the best deadlifters in this competition, so he can create some space. He's also got to just then not make a mistake on the last two events, and this is his to win.
They are not too far off from getting their day started with the elephant bar deadlift, but before they take to the bar, it is time for a rogue record breaker. The women's elephant bar deadlift is coming up. For Dr. Bill Crawford, I'm Sam Farber saying stick around. Much more to come here at the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic. The Rogue Iron Game from the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic is brought to you by GoRuck. Founded by a Green Beret, GoRuck is an American brand with Special Forces roots. Theragun, change the way you move. Yeti, built for the wild. Rogue, don't weaken. And the Arnold Sports Festival.